So, how's it going, everybody? Thiccas here, and we have a very interesting video today because Only Waifu, big shout out to Only Waifu. If you don't know this channel, please check the channel. It has some amazing content. It has multiple kind of topics and build ideas and memes, and let's just say every time I watch a video, I always have like a good laugh, but it's also very informative, so please check the channel. It is highly recommended. This is also the reason why I wanted to check this video, because I really think this video is a very important video to share and to talk about, because it is about the title, the gamers that Reddit hates, tryhards. And here's the thing, already off the rip, I'm gonna say one thing. I think the entire term of tryharding is a little bit of a people use that in a very negative way, and I think people just trying to optimize builds and be as effective as possible really isn't the wrong thing. But you know what, let's just dive in this video. Let's dive in this video and let's see what this video is all about.
Do you know what a tryhard is, Tarnished? No, not a diehard, a tryhard. According to one of the definitions of the term you can find online, tryhard is a derisive term for someone considered overly focused on optimizing gameplay and playing to win, to the point where they are detrimental to other people trying to actually relax and have fun.
Huh?
But there is a little problem with that definition, which I will proceed to illustrate right now. This is Jimmy. Jimmy is a scissors main in the game Rock Paper Scissors. He has a lot of fun when he plays scissors. The problem is that Jimmy gets really angry when someone plays rock against him. And Dickie here knows that Jimmy only plays scissors, so he will always play rock against Jimmy. Now, is Dickie wrong for always playing rock against Jimmy, not allowing him to have fun? Or is Jimmy being a crybaby? It's actually a bit difficult to draw the line between what can be considered try-hard, which will prompt some people to accuse others of ruining fun when they're just simply playing the game as it should be played.
Right.
So what really is a try-hard?
Well,
and is it inherently bad to be one? Let's answer these questions together, my little cosmic cookie crumbs.
I'm a cookie crumb.
Before we begin, the mystery weapon from our last video was the Troll's Hammer. Congrats to the
Yo, I should
roasted
use that
marshmallows
weapon. The
who
weapon is kinda
answered
cool.
correctly. Stay tuned until the end for another game of Mystery Weapon. The
see what I mean
first
in this video.
iteration of the term try-hard was used in The Times, which is a British daily national newspaper based in London. The
That's
article
lore.
using the term is long lost to time itself, ironically, and we assume it was used in the real-life context of the term. But when talking about gaming, the term started gaining popularity about 13 years ago, and as previously mentioned, it started to be used as a derisive term against gamers that try really hard to win. Since this is an Elden Ring channel, we're going to focus on Elden Ring stuff when talking about tryhards, and for that I want to share a small clip that we found in the wild thanks to Stilovsky.
Hey, Silovsky.
Don't say hi. Another tryharder. Okay, let's go, brother.
According to this gamer, the guy in the Lionel hat is a tryhard, but
Yo, shit. All right.
why? I mean, yes, he did not gesture at the beginning of the match, which is a topic we've covered before, but even after
I
seeing
love the
him not
video.
gesture, run to you and jump, you just stood there. Why didn't you?
Facts. Like, why did he just, like, foot glued on the floor? He just stood there. He could have rolled. I don't know. Like, I get it, you know, good etiquette, just do an emote, but the homie had like 100 frames to roll out, because look at how long it took to jump attack.
But even after seeing him not gesture,
Could've just
run to
rolled.
you and jump.
Is it the most, like, is it, I can see where people here already are like, yeah, but just emote. I'm like, you know, some people don't want to emote. It's fine. You have the time to roll.
You just stood there. Why didn't you roll at least? You just stood there and took the jump attack, you
Facts.
goober.
How did this even touch me?
Transient moonlight
Play Elden Ring enough, and then you'll understand how that shit works. Like, it obviously visually it makes no sense, but
was able to hit you because that's how latency works. You have latency against your opponent, so a moon veil that up close will hit you if you try to strafe it on reaction. You have to preemptively be strafing to dodge it, and at a longer distance too, of course.
Now all you need to do is crouch poke, man, and you're a real winner. Yeah. Have your win, brother.
Well,
okay. Before Ron is about to explain everything, so let's talk about that duel. I do understand that people are like, oh my god, it's just one of those guys that are just trying really hard to get the win, and it's almost questionable if the win means anything to them. And you know, I'm in the same. Okay, I'm gonna be very honest about this. If I see someone like this, my mind instantly goes like, "Oh shit, this man is going in. This man is going to fuck in. He is about to whoop my ass. Like, he is really trying his best to get the win." And I do understand that people have a very different way of, or a very different mindset behind getting a W. For some people, a W is a W. And for me, this is why I wanted to make this video, because you guys know me longer than today, I guess. I am quite known for not going for the most meta kind of things, or, you know, I'm kind of here to try different weapons, different builds, you know, a little bit of the quirky, weird shit. But there's one thing I have to say though. I am aware of my build. I am aware that my build is not the most effective. So in that regard already, I am aware that I'm putting myself in a disadvantage. I cannot blame people to use optimal things. If you want to use optimal things, use optimal things. They're optimal for a reason. Go and use them. So already, you know, and he also said about, yeah, you only crouch poke. Okay, but if you know that moveset, there are only like 2 good moves. The crouch poke and the jump attack. You shouldn't force other people to play in like a limited way so you get the fun out of it. Okay, so
duh.
That already.
Of course he's gonna crouch poke. He's using double great spears. You want him to do the useless poopy running R2 for you just
Facts.
so you can punish
That
it
shit is
easily?
trash.
Are you being deliberately obnoxious?
It's obviously that your life depends on it.
yeah, so here's the thing. I wouldn't even look. He didn't. Okay. I'm not gonna say anything. I wanted to keep this for later because I do have something I have to talk about though. But stay tuned for that.
GG.
Excuse me, but what makes you think his life depends on it? He only did 4 things during the whole match. He attacked you when the match started. He hard
Could've
swapped
rolled.
to Moonveil,
Should've
and he
rolled.
crouch poked twice. Well, that's all he
Could've
did.
spaced.
And just for that,
Wait, is
the
he
guy
using a
swapped
great
to
sword?
Moonveil,
Ultra great
and he
sword?
crouch poked twice. Well,
Could have hyper armored through it.
that's all he did. And just for that, the guy is a lifeless loser for merely playing the game. You know what this looks like to me. This looks like instead of him being a try-hard, you are the opposite. You are a try-soft. You immediately gave up after he did something you didn't like. If you ask me, it seems that the problem here is you, not him. The guy was just playing optimally, which is something
what I
that
mean.
he can do if he wants. Just as you can give up if you see something you don't like. Anyone can play however they want, within the confinements of what's possible in the
Cheating.
game, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come on, don't cheat.
It may not be
Dude, I have been facing a lot of chainsaws lately, man. I don't know what's going on, but there's a lot of chainsaw going on, man. There's a whole ass forest in here with all the chainsaws.
a fun match to you. But what if playing like that is fun to him? What if not playing optimally is boring to him? Whose fun is more important here, huh? I think that instead of crying like a desperate ape, you should just accept the situation and play. Take this situation, for example. Waifu is fighting a dude in the Colosseum, and he's taken down to very low health. Naturally, his opponent starts throwing fan daggers at him with the intent of finishing him off. So Waifu switches...
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I do find it very annoying when people, you know, go just for fan daggers when you're weak. But again, it's like, yeah, you get the, if you really want the win, you can get the win like that. So why, you know, why wouldn't you? And you have ways to counter it. Just grab either a shield, right? Regen. He's probably gonna regen here.
Remain set, which
Yeah, there you
gradually
go.
restores your HP when you're below 25% max HP. The fight continues, and the guy looks annoyed. So Waifu jumps him and finishes him off.
Damn, he didn't
After a
roll.
few moments, the guy leaves this message in Waifu's profile.
Fight was fun until you started running away and desperately trying to regen a health. GG. Up until then, I love it that his icon is like someone vomiting. Like it looked like a Christmas tree. But here's the thing. Okay, let me get my 2 cents out of this. What Waifu did here is something people consider very scummy in general. Heart swapping. I'm not sure if this is gonna get covered in the video, but if you, okay, maybe I'm not sure if there's some people here that played RuneScape, but let's just use RuneScape as an example here, because I think that people are still not understanding what Eldering is in like a PvP environment. In RuneScape, you also had like your builds where you had to swap through like an entire armor set to get like a status bonus or like better magic defense or range defense or melee defense. You also had like your prayers where you had to like actively flick and do all that shit to get the benefits out of it. Why is hard swapping considered a scummy thing to do? It is literally in the game to help you adapt against your problems. Do I always do that? If I am facing someone that is using a weapon I just cannot reach, of course I'm gonna hard swap to a weapon to make my life a bit better. Do I swap an entire armor set and whatnot? Not really, but I can absolutely do that. But I can not hate people for doing that. It works. Do it. Don't discredit people for using things that are just effective. If it's kind of like you're saying you're not allowed to do things that are effective because it will cost me some fun. That kind of makes no sense to me, you know?
Waifu responds to him the obvious question. Should he just then let the guy unalive him with fan daggers so he doesn't get annoyed? To which the guy responds that countering his strategy was boring and that he just wanted quick fights. So if Waifu wants even quicker fights, should you just stand still while Waifu beats you up? Because according to your logic, that's what should happen. And you moving and actually fighting back would be boring. Do you even realize how asinine that sounds? This whole ordeal seems like what you're really saying is, you didn't let me win, so you're a try-hard. But I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, so again, that's pretty much what I said. And I do understand where people are like, dude, getting a win is not that serious. That's my mindset. As in, like, if I play, I'm not really playing to get a W. I'm just trying to do some dumb shits and have some fun and some giggles out of it. But again, do not discredit or do not hate other people for going for optimal things. They bought the game and they're allowed to do whatever the fuck they want. If they want to swap around and do all that shit to get the W because apparently they just want a W, I mean, the entire purpose of a duel is to win, right? So I can see both sides, like, yeah, but you don't have to go so hard for just an empty W. Maybe that W is not as empty as you think for them. So yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of everything, you know? So let's just continue.
Mate, if you want the victory, you gotta work for it. Don't be expecting to have everything handed to you in a silver platter. And
which honestly would also be really boring if everything was just, you know, you get like a W easy mode.
Following a bit with what happened in that last video, what Waifu did to swap to the royal remains is called hard swapping. It entails switching your equipment directly from the menu as opposed to soft swapping, which would simply be pressing right on the D-pad to change a weapon, for example. And believe it or not, some people think that doing this is try-hard behavior and that it should not be possible to do so in PvP, claiming that it goes against what was the intended gameplay. But as far as we know, you're not forbidden from swapping weapons during fights. The weight limit is there to punish soft swaps and make you invest in endurance, which is included in the strategy of making builds. But again, this is Reddit we're talking about, a website where you'll find an answer like this. We don't hard swap because we don't want to.
Yeah, hard swapping to weapons, I really don't mind. Hard swapping to armor sets, I mean, if you see that you're fighting against a sleep build, I wouldn't blame you at all if you swap to, like, what is it, the Lionel set or not the Lionel set, the other heavy set. I kind of forgot the name, but the Prelate has some very high sleep defense. So again, it's just like, oh no, you're not making my life easier to two-tap you with a sleep build. How dare you? That's kind of the mentality what I'm getting at the moment. So I don't really blame them for hard swapping at those moments, you know?
I could hard swap like that if I felt like it.
So, up to now, all of the examples of try-hard we've seen are nothing but greasy calorie connoisseurs throwing fits over not having easy wins. But why is this? Why do people behave like this? I asked a known Elden Ring streamer about it, so he can give us his expert opinion.
That's a good question.
Oh, shit.
Unfortunate as it sounds, most people don't have the winner's mentality. Not necessarily, don't confuse the winner's mentality with the try-hard mentality. Two different things. But the winner's mentality is to give it your all in the things you care about. You could call it like a philosophy in life, like to just give it your all, to just
Facts.
do your best. It doesn't matter what it is. Obviously, you're not always going to be doing your best 100% of the time on everything you're doing. And if you can do that, like, props to you. When you do your best and you don't achieve the result you're looking for, it's very, very frustrating. Very frustrating when you're trying as hard as you can and you're still not getting what you want. You're still not getting the result you want. But that's life, right? When it comes to like people hating tryharding, when they're gonna put themselves out there, they know that they're not gonna get what they want. So like they know that if they try hard, they're basically not going to win. They're not going to come out on top.
You know what? You know why this hits me so personally? He's spitting facts. Let's talk about something real quick. So for me, and this is kind of where I'll kind of already want to share my opinion about this. His mindset behind the winner's kind of mentality, the winner mindset, I completely agree. It is the way he explained it is very accurate, and I have the same. Not for this game though. So for me, you know, when I really have that winner mentality, I just want to grind the game. I want to get better. I want to see results, and it's very, very demotivating to not see your results back in trying your best to get better in a game. It's Tekken. When I started with Gigas, I always had like, yo, this character's so sick. I just want to do really good with this character, right? And already some people will say, yeah, but Gigas was low tier and this and the third. Yes, but he was still he was still a character that is functional. You can still work around his weaknesses. It is possible. And I had such a big drive to get better in Tekken 7 with Gigas to actually really learn the game. And you guys already know, maybe you don't, but Tekken 7 is arguably one of the hardest fighting games out there. You know, Tekken in general is one of the hardest fighting games out there. And I never really played Tekken before. So for me, it was a fresh start. So I can absolutely understand why people would have the same for Elden Ring. Because it has a bunch of layers to learn. And now people will say, yeah, what hard swapping is. It does actually have a skill ceiling. Like swapping consistently, knowing your menus. And it has requirements. And not everyone can do this. Same goes for being effective with a meta build. I do know that people say, yeah, Great Spear is just like, yeah, because it looks like it with like the wave dash and stuff like that, but it's not only that. I mean, give it, you can also just give it a try if you think it is like that, but it really isn't. It's not as easy as you guys are making it out for. So that's my thing. In Elden Ring, I kind of see this as like this goofy game where I just try some dumb fucking shit because it looks really cool or it just feels really funny to just land dumb attacks. But I would not discredit people like G9 as an example. Stilovsky is a beautiful example. Someone that is very talented in what he does to be as optimal as possible with a build that people consider either very stupid or brain dead. But again, joke's on you. Go ahead and try to be as effective as G9 or Stilovsky. You will not do that because it's not as easy as you guys are making it out for. Same goes for, that's why in Tekken, I saw people play with characters I considered very cheap. I'm gonna be honest, I'm like, yo, this character mad cheap. You're just doing this to, get the easy dubs. Until I tried them, I'm like, whoa. Wait, you're telling me you're doing like 2-frame links all the time? And I'm like, whoa. You know what? Never mind. I'll take it back. And I'm not comparing these kind of builds with like 2-frame links in a fighting game. But the idea still stands that it's not as easy as you think to be this optimal as G9 or Stilovsky, or Rust Bucket. This guy's really good. It's not as easy as you think. So
it makes them feel a little better if they're not trying their hardest and they're trying to do something quirky and unique at the same time. That gives them joy knowing that it's okay, I'm not trying my best here, so it doesn't matter if I fail. It doesn't feel as bad. And
this is the funny part where I come around. I kind of have the opposite. For me, it's like, oh my god, it's so quirky. I really want to make this work. So for me, it's like, damn, okay, yeah, it's kind of ass, but it does have some uses. Let me try to be as optimal as possible with either the weapon art or the weapon or the incantation or whatnot. Do I promote my things I find extremely strong and meta? Absolutely not. But I'm just happy to see, or I'm just happy that I can shed some light to other weapons, incants, whatever, whatnot, builds, to have some additional layer of, usage that other people can give it a try. But I would never promote my content as something considered, yo, this is meta because it's so strong and consistent. And no, it's just really, it's fun. It's okay, like it can do the job, it can do the job. But that's why I never say that my videos or my content is something I consider meta or strong. It's just fun, or looks cool, or it's just, a little bit of a palate cleanse so you can try something else.
Now, I'm not going to put everyone in that basket, but a lot of people fall in that category. A lot of people don't care about these games, but everyone hates losing. But as you say, most people hate tryharding, suck, but want to hide it with cope. Yeah, that's probably the more simple way to put it.
I honestly agree with what he's saying. I do feel that for some of the people that complain so much, the issue is that they have a small degree of coping. They care, but they just can't. I wanna. So in that case, well, what would an actual tryhard really be?
If you look the Urban Dictionary for tryhard, it has like bad implications. Someone that tries too hard to make up for their lack of skill. Although, one thing to be noted is that the Urban Dictionary is like written and compiled by votes. And so people submit their own definition and other people vote for what the definition should be, right? Something in the Urban Dictionary can be up for debate. Other definitions that you can find in the Urban Dictionary is simply someone just giving it their all, right? Someone trying their best. To me, that's more what it means to be a tryhard. It's just trying your best to win. People that hate optimal play will probably use the derogatory term for tryhard, and then the people who have more like the winner's mentality will probably tend to use the tryhard meaning as in more like you give it your all, right?
Yeah.
If you think that the game does not deserve you putting it your all, it's your choice. If you think it does, it's also your choice. But it's undeniable that if you don't give it your all and you still are frustrated, it becomes really a you problem.
And I also agree with...
Yeah, so that's also a really good point he makes. Like, there's a lot of people use the word tryhard in like a negative way. For me, if I have to be very honest, so now we're gonna, my opinion about all this. I don't see tryhard as a negative thing. I see tryhard as someone, like G9 said, the man is here to win. This is not something negative. You want to win in a PvP oriented game, so be it. That is the point of PvP. You getting a W, so that I can see. And I do understand that people are still saying it again, but dude, you want to win so badly. Yeah, so what? If he wants to win, he wants to win. And I do understand that it might make your day a little bit more sour because you have to deal with someone doing like the wiggles and all that stuff, and you just wanted to try a weapon, and now you have to fight against like a lot of people being super try hard, I guess. Yeah, but again, do understand that you cannot really blame them for using optimal stuff. Hey, should I use something that is like consistent, is good to learn with and gives me W's, or should I cripple myself because it might be a bit cooler, but it's absolutely not that great? So I really don't mind tryhards, I guess, and I do, again, people see tryhard as a bad thing, but let's talk about bad things. And I'm not sure if Only Wife is going to mention this, but this is where I get frustrated. Shitters. I am talking about people that are as skilled as tryhards because they're really good. Like, I'm not taking that away from some shitters, that they're really good. So I find it unfortunate that you're a shitter. But you're really good, and then the match is done, you win, and you instantly teabag or point down or show or throw some shit on the floor. And either block me, because yeah, I've seen some people block me after one fucking duel. Or if we get the rematch, me hard swapping to fist weapons, because again, I'm the most comfortable with fist weapons. I bop the shit out of you and you DC. Or give up. Those people are the people I get triggered the most on. Those people, shitters. Do I hate it to lose against someone that is really effective, but he's just cool about it? Absolutely not. That's just a part of the game. PvP, listen, there's not a singular game where PvP is in there without a like competitive scene. Every game with like a PvP environment absolutely has this try hard, I guess, or very serious environment with it. As an example, Destiny 2. People don't see that as a competitive game, but people are extremely competitive in that game too. Same goes for Overwatch, same goes for all, same goes for fighting games, same goes for MOBAs. Every game where you can fight someone else, multiplayer, there's just gonna be a competitive scene behind it, like a very serious competitive scene. Elden Ring is no different. And that's why I don't understand why people are so angry, so pissed about people just trying to play with effective things, right?
This. In the end, it all boils down to a human factor. People that get angry about losing will call the winner a tryhard, while people that have a winner's mentality will call someone who's just playing to win a tryhard, but not as a derogatory term. So if you can choose what to make of the experience, make it a good one. If you truly don't care enough about the game to give it your all, don't do it. But don't get mad if other people do, after all.
That's pretty much, could have summed it up in one sentence, and that was it. If you don't give a fuck about Elden Ring as much as they do, don't blame them for doing that. But do understand that you're crippling yourself. And this is the thing, like, if you're good enough to use things that are not as competitive to fight against competitive people, give it a try. Maybe you can still win. I don't want to use myself as an example. I actually also had some duels where I fought against some very talented players with a little bit of a weird build, like a dagger build, like a two-handed dagger build, right? But it actually, I still won, you know? And this is not because I'm like the best of the best, but I do have a understanding of the game, as in, you know, the PvP, like the meta. I do understand what their game plan is. I do understand how to adapt around it with something that seems like a disadvantage, but you can absolutely work around it if you're good enough. And you have to be honest about it. If you're not good enough to adapt around it with a disadvantageous build versus a meta build, be honest with yourself. Don't blame the guy for using a meta setup.
The one rule of all reigns supreme.
Remember what I told you.
Don't be a cunt.
There you go.
Little ravioli. It's 4 p.m.
I'm a ravioli now. I was a breadcrumb too. That is exactly what I feel as well. I don't see tryhards as being a problem in the game. It's actually good to see tryhard people pushing those builds to see what the game is all about, you know, to see what the max potential build is in this game. And some people will call that boring. Fair enough. You can call that boring if you want. I honestly also don't enjoy playing with the most meta setups, like, you know, off stock and stuff like that. But if you want to use an effective build, use it. But just don't be a shitter. That's the only thing I'm asking. If you use something very competitively, good shit. You know, you win, good. But don't ruin other people's experience by being a shitter and just like, oh, I won, teabag. Don't do that. Just move on. You got your W. Good shit. Move on. Try to get better maybe. And we're all at peace. And to all the other peoples that are saying, yeah, but you're tryharding because you're hard swapping. It's part of the game. If you don't want to deal with it, I'm going to be very honest. Don't play it. Because it's going to be part of the game. And it won't change. If you cannot adapt around hard swapping, and if that really is your problem, then you have to either face it or stop playing it. And I'm dead serious by saying this. Because it's not going to make your life better, because it's not going to get fixed, right? Fix. This shouldn't be get fixed because there's nothing to fix here, and it will just ruin your entire experience playing online. And I don't think it's a smart thing to just do something against your own will, or do something that you're not getting the enjoyment out because someone is doing something in the game you cannot fight against. That will just only get you more pissed, and, you know, emotions can take the best out of you, and maybe you will say some dumb things or very unfortunate things about someone, or post things on Reddit without any good reason to back it up. But I am dead serious. If you really don't like Elden Ring PvP because of reasons like mentioned before, don't play it. No one is forcing you to play this. Play it if you really enjoy it. If you don't enjoy playing the game, don't. Trust me, I had experience with other games where I'm like, I absolutely hate this in the game, but I cannot counter this. I cannot work around this character. Yes, I'm talking about Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Dark Phoenix. That character was so... she was too much. I couldn't deal with that. Not with my team, not with other characters I played. And I stopped playing that game for real because it just didn't work out. And I felt so much better for just not taking the game serious. It's just... It ain't good for me. So... Again, this is legit advice. This video is really cool. Again, big shout out to Only Waifu. Just check the channel. It's a really good channel. And I do also really hope to see y'all opinion about this. It's something that has been quite a discussion also in my chat. Because again, I am more known for using wonky, weird shit. And people are like, dude, either number one, how do you still beat those sweaty people or try hard people? And number two, how do you deal with all that and still use like dumb shit? This is how I do it. Like still have the fundamentals to still back it up while being in a disadvantage. But I'm also going to be honest. I don't always win. Of course, I'm not always winning. I'm also losing a lot. I don't mind losing. That's also how you learn how to beat those options. And yes, I also had moments where someone was like being a shitter. I'm like, you know what? Nah, I'm going to give it a second try. I'm about to catch that. Then I almost win and they plug. So that already for me is a big victory. I won with a disadvantageous build versus a very meta build. And it just also, you know, that buffs or that boosts your confidence in getting better in the game. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think about all this. This is a very interesting topic. And, hey, yo, keep it civil in the comment section or else I'm going to shoot your ass. So, thank you guys so much for watching. And I'm peacing out, y'all. Peace and love, everybody.